You know, lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of demons. A lot of shit we do gonna have consequences, but we gotta be ready for them. Emergency, I just got out of surgery. I'm having problems with my heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me. I'ma stay right here for this plastic, God take breath from me. I'm sipping his hand and eat this pain, but it ain't helping. My little nigga going against the grain and that's stressing me. I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the gang. He paid the price. I was young in the rush for the money. My hunger for paper saved my life. And that shit can save tonight. If you want that lick shit, we can get rich, quick, we can get paid tonight. Nigga, dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but no wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it.
Grand Rising.
Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by hire. You killed a nigga, you don't know him. You gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, though, real talk. Hey. Fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fighting my. It's me against these demons. Whoa, I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons, I'm on the ropes. They came with a beam up under my coat. Get hit in the spleen if you want to smoke. That money be green, so niggas on go. I'm looking so clean, I used to be broke. Remember they laughed at me and they choked. Gave them the ball and nigga they chose. Tables turn out, nigga you roll. My little nigga don't follow no code. No code. My nigga follow me like the pole. I stand on my word, they stand by the consequence. They say I'm hard, thanks for the compliment. I sing it dead, homie, y'all like confident. BMG gang, it bitch me incompetent. Don't wanna hear that shit, I gotta kill that shit. Lethal militant, I can get ignorant, we not considerate. Niggas do silly shit, we get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent, don't give a fuck about a bystander. I can pull up in the high left. Don't take no slam. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but you gon' go down. Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by hire. You killed a nigga, you don't know him. You gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, though, real talk. Hey. Fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Fight my demons.
Fighting mine.
It's me against these demons. Living life encased in the idea that my evil thoughts go unpunished.
Grand Rising. Namaste, Ashe, salutation, salam, peace. So, how's everything going with everybody? It's a lot of stuff going on right now. And for those in the back, I want you guys to. This is what I got to say.
Before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high.
You hear that, Denat?
Not hiding behind a keyboard or tucked behind editing clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusations. Because in the old world, men didn't hide behind anything. When they spoke against someone, they had to speak it with their whole being. And if you're going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face and say it like a man. If you're going to talk about the geometry, have other geometries to argue against it. If you're going to talk about the supersymmetry, speak of other supersymmetries that would work against it. If you're going to talk about the white papers, provide your own white paper as an argument to argue against the equations or the conclusions. But we're going
to. And that goes to say, and that's what all things, right? If you're going to have the guts to say something about somebody of that magnitude, say it to them. Everything that we said out in the open. We have a open Discord that everyone's welcome to. Just because you put spies in the Discord and these spies go look up somebody's life for you and they try to put these fake and false implications on somebody's life, they try to make these false accusations about somebody's life, right? They put these falsitries out there about you, try to make it seem like you're this, you're that. Oh, go check out his Instagram. Go look at his baby mom. His baby mom is this. His baby mom is that. My baby mom is not none of what he's speaking on, right? The mother of my kids is not none of what he's speaking about. In fact, everything he's been saying is a complete, utter lie. And the fact that people are over there believing it, that's the even more, crazy part about this. I think people wanted to believe it anyway. So therefore, when he came out with his lies, they jumped right on him because they were already looking to believe some sort of falsity, you know? But let's get one thing clear. Okay. Let's get one thing clear. For sure. We definitely gonna get this clear. Right? So I hope everybody's having a great day out there. Hope everybody's wonderful, doing wonderful. Living it up, as they say. Love is love. Namaste, Ashe, salutation, salam. And, all of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. So this man is trying to say, like, and this is one of the reasons why I don't have none of my kids, like, new recent pictures on my Facebook. This is why I don't have, like, people posted, on my Facebook, so on and so forth, because of this measures right here. these people do these little smear campaigns, and everybody on TikTok, they know my truth is already out there. Everybody already know. I already told my story multiple times over. That's why the things he's saying is asinine and redundant and counterproductive with the falsitries that he's putting out there, trying to make it seem like women are unsafe around me, so on and so forth. You can ask people in my real life, just how safe they are, whatever the case may be, but you can't ask nobody on the internet that feels a certain type of way. I done already made, people feel comfortable, done already help people out, so on and so forth. But these people want you to keep on putting out different pieces of your life. This is why they keep on going through these measures of, bullshit rhetoric, so on and so forth. This is why they keep on doing this. It's kind of like, at this point, you gotta say, like, come on, at this point, you gotta be looking at it like, you know what, this is old. This is not it anymore, right? At some point, you have to say that, right? Now, here is a picture of my baby mom and the 3 kids that I have with her. Now, can I ask y'all a question? Do that look like a 600-pound white woman? Do that look like a 600-pound white woman? Please tell me. My daughter's right here. Both my sons is right there. The mother of them is right there. Do that look like a 600-pound white woman? I don't think that looks like a 600-pound white woman. And the fact that this guy sits here and tries to make it seem like, oh, he don't have no good looking women in his life, he don't post them. I never been a picture guy. Since I was a kid going into 8 different group homes, I never took pictures. I never took pictures like that. All my family knows, everybody around me knows that I don't take pictures like that, right? But I do have a few pictures that I took. But in 2016, when I started this journey, right, on social media, I knew that I was going to have to separate my family and my life from this social media stuff. Why did I know that? Because I knew, right? I knew that people like this, these narcissistic people, I knew that they would take everything that you have and turn it into their falsity. I knew that they would take everything that you do and turn it into their lie, right? I knew that already. Way back in 2016, I knew that already. I knew that they will take my life, turn it upside down, and have me fighting or combating some different variation of their bullshit. My truth been out there. I told my story 7 times over on TikTok. I've been doing this for 5 years, 6 years now on TikTok. So coming over to YouTube, running into these entities, it was nothing. Remember, I told y'all I've been exposing scamming groups on TikTok. I'm talking about, this goes all the way up to some of the agencies that's over on TikTok. Do you get what I'm saying? So I had to expose some of the agencies on TikTok that's a part of this whole grifting, crowdfunding, and scamming, right? I knew that I was going to have to separate my real life from this. The fact that this dude is putting all of these falsitries, talking about, oh, yeah, we might see if we have to bring charges against him, all of this stuff like that, it only just goes to show the depths of what he's going to go through, right? I told y'all already we were 50 steps ahead of them. I told y'all we're 50 steps ahead of them. I've been stopped posting my kids. My kids is graduating from high school. Both of my sons right there are graduating from high school. My daughter, she's already graduated. She's 24 now. She just turned 24 March 19th. Both my sons, 18 and 17, they both about to graduate. Right? So this is why I say this dude can make up whatever lie he want. And probably the only thing he'll say next is, oh, where's the updated picture? So this is what they do. They wait and they make you prove stuff about your real life. And then after you prove stuff about your real life, they then turn around and come up with more bullshit, then more bullshit, then more. It doesn't matter what I show, what I say, or what I explain, they're going to create a messed up narrative no matter what. This is why even on back message text, I told him, make the story up how you want to make the story up. This is why I told him that on back end messages, because I already knew that he wanted to, assassinate my character, that he want to put falsitries out there about me. I already knew that, right? So that's why I told him, make it up how you want to make it up. I like when people make up these stories about me because it sounds more interesting than what my real life is, right? So I already knew he was going to make up bullshit, do this, do that. I knew it already, right? But see, here's the thing about these entities, right? They sit there, they play, they do this whole, oh, you're gonna do this and you gotta do that, and this, that, and the third. And they sit there and they play in your face and so on and so forth. And they call you, they want to say what things like, he's the devil, he's this, he's got a cult over there, he's doing this, he's doing that. Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain, right? These lies will fall by the wayside, right? These lies won't stick, right? But the truth about his life will always remain. The truth about his life will always be right there, slap dead in his face. He will not be able to hide from that truth no matter what. That truth will remain right there in his face. Everything that he's doing, his life leading up to his life, right? All of that will remain right there, slap dead in his face, right? And that's the truth of this. His truth will remain right there. He cannot escape from it. He can't push it off on me. No matter how much he keeps trying, he cannot push it off on me. These people cannot push it off on me. No matter how much they keep trying, they cannot push it off on me, right? And yes, my kids are in the church, okay? My kids are in the church, doing things with the church, right? I always kept my kids involved in spiritual expectations of life. Always kept my kids involved in spiritual expectations of life. You get what I'm saying? So, but the reality of it is, they can paint whatever picture of my life they want. We've been said this. I said this in the Discord multiple times. Paint whatever picture you want of my life. That is the picture that you want to paint. That has nothing to do with me. I can't stop nobody from painting a picture that they want. They want your life to perceive to be a certain type of way. This is why I say, when people are writing their own book, you don't get to determine what character they want you to play in their book. So they're writing their own book and they are trying to choose what character they want me to play. I can't go in there and choose the character that I want to play. You know what I mean? I can't go in there and say, hey, hold up, I'm a hero. You know, paint me out to be the hero. I'm the hero in all of that. Right? I can't go do that. So I'm going to allow him to paint the picture how he wants to paint the picture. Because there's no point of me trying to sit there and paint the picture, right? There's no point of me trying to sit there and paint the picture. And both my sons, do they look like they came from, both my sons look like me, right? Both my sons look like me. They handsome, right? Despite the story he want to put out there talking about oh, my brother took no, my brother didn't do anything like that, right? Some shit took place. I was incarcerated at the time, you know, but neither here nor there. I talked to my brother about it. I talked to my baby mom about it. I still respect both of them. You can't make me harvest no feelings about that situation. No matter what you say about my life, you can't make me harvest no feelings about nothing that took place in my life. I'm glad everything took place in my life exactly how it took place in my life. I'm thankful for those 8 different group homes, 3 different foster homes. I'm thankful for the woman that brought my kids into this world, my 2 biological boys right here, and my non-biological kids, my daughter and the son that I'm raising right now. I'm thankful for those people. Even if I didn't biologically bring them into this world, I'm thankful that somebody procreated and brought them into this world because they here, and they wouldn't be here if the situation would have went any way else than what it went. I'm thankful for my past. Maybe you should be thankful for yours, right? You want to take people narratives of their life and spin them, knowing how dark you are, knowing how messed up you are. You hear how you talk about your sister. You played a part in that. Everybody and everything around you that you touch or have some involvement with seems to unalive, right? All the way to Ronnie Doe. Even he touched your darkness and unalived. And y'all sitting over there, keep on playing his music, not even letting him rest in peace, attaching yourself to that person. And you still out here doing wicked shit. Ain't nothing in you good. Nothing about you is good. And the universe is watching all that nasty shit. That's why you dying on the inside. And you know you dying on the inside. The only people that don't know what's going on is everybody else. You know you on borrowed time. You know your time is up. So cough it up now. Cough it up. You want to mention my kids, make it seem like I'm not a father. I talk to my kids all the time. Do you talk to yours? I don't think so. I don't think you talk to yours. I just talked to my son the other day. Do you talk to yours? I don't think you did. I don't think you do. Right? I raised mine. I'm in my kids' life. I was raising my kids. I was around my kids. I was sitting at the table with them, lecturing them. I did the most talking in the house. When it came down to school, I went up there to find out what was going on. I sat in classrooms if they was acting up. I did all of that as a father. You can't downplay my life and make it seem like I'm a fucked up character because you're a fucked up character. So when you going out and you putting these fake images on people, these falsitries on people, hey man, that's gonna come back to you. It's gonna come back to you. You ain't gotta worry about it. It's gonna come back to you. I promise you that. You know, I promise you that. You know, I kept them. You know, even when they didn't like it. You know, even when they didn't like it, I kept them. I kept them in them plays. I kept them in them plays in church. You know, because my parents kept me in the plays. It was something about that, right? Kept them in them plays, right? Look at my youngest son. Looking mean as hell. He looking mean as hell. He did not want to be one of the wise men. He was not trying to be one of the wise men at all. So if you gonna tell a story about me, tell it right, man. Tell it right. You sitting there trying to make it seem like I don't got this on my Facebook, I don't got that on my Facebook, but you know it's a reason why you not showing my Facebook, right? I got people on my Facebook. It's just not the people you wanted to see, right? It's not the people you wanted to see. I got black women in my life on my Facebook. Look at my beautiful sister-in-law or stepsister. I'm sorry. I got black people in my life that's around me. I got black women that knows. Everybody around me, when they're around me, they know they safe. They know they good. They know they in good company. They know that. Military woman right here. Military woman. This is my older sister. One of my older sisters. Military woman. Don't tell me I ain't got no black women in my life that care about me, so on and so forth. Right? I show up to the parties. This my niece's birthday party. This my niece's birthday party right here. I show up to the parties when it comes down to different variations of things. Don't sit here and tell me that I don't care about this and I don't care about that, right? That's all we did was family stuff. Nieces and nephews right here, hanging out at my dad's house, right? You the evil one, bro. You the evil one. You putting all that shit on everybody else. You the evil one. You the wicked one. You the nasty one. Right? And you want everybody else to be or feel a part of your nastiness. You want to just rub it off on them. Make them live in your nastiness. Right? And the reality of this is, I've been doing businesses. I've been working hard, right? Come on. You the one that wants people to have these false accolades about somebody else's life. You're not telling the truth about somebody's life. You putting falsitries on somebody's life so you can feel good about your fuckery, about your life, the fact that you ain't shit. The fact that you can't accomplish nothing, the fact that you a failed actor, that's what you doing. You failing in life, and you want everybody else to feel like you, because you ain't making it, because you ain't getting it, right? I've been working with a company out of Pittsburgh to put together, different types of inventions and shit. Still working with this company out of Pittsburgh. This is the first prototype right here. This is a DVD that shows the first prototype for the invention, right? Working with Davis and Company out of Pittsburgh to put together, you see it says ideas to products, portfolio, right? You would know that if you was actually in the business of trying to make a brand or a business. And since you would really take into that that understanding of that, if you really knew about corporations and businesses, you wouldn't be on here tarnishing people's names the way that you tarnishing people's names, defamation of character in such a high level like that, right? To where as though you actually interrupting businesses and corporations anytime you defame somebody's character. And here's a little bit of knowledge for you. Because I have a social security number, I am my own corporation under that social security number. So when you take my name and you tarnish my name, reputation, so on and so forth, you're already going against a corporation. I am that corporation that you decided to tarnish, tear down, right? And this all goes back to the original visit, right? With Jaguar Wright, where Jaguar Wright said, F your kids, right? Y'all remember this? This took place way back December. This took place way back in December when Jaguar Wright came in here and said this, right? F your kids. She also said, I'm going to make sure your kids get taken away. All of this weird shit. Sean will strike down your channel. Look, this is what they've been, this is the threats that they've been doing, right? And this, he's one of them. He's one of those people, right? Odell is going to handle you. If any of my content is on your page, this is what they do. They want to install fear in people. They got the green light, the right of way to get on here and try to put fear in the people. That's why all of our love that we putting out is getting looked at, you know, suspiciously, but all of the hate, nobody's questioning none of the hate and the hurt and the pain that they're pushing out. Why is that not being questioned? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself, why is that not being questioned?
You are a sick individual. You know that boy is obsessed with me, and you going over there praying on him to buy. You are so sick. Girl, I can show you the paperwork. I make 2.5 times the amount of money now that I got rid of you out of my life. And when I get rid of him from the inside out, I feel like I'm going to go up to about $20,000 a month. Don't nobody play with my soul or try to trap me. You are a nasty, cruel-ass bitch. Death don't do you justice, ho. You already dead on the inside. You stupid. You are literally delusional to sit there and pay this boy to talk to him behind the scene, to cry and act like you made a friend. Ain't no fucking friends. He using you for money, and you don't care about it. The only thing you care about is trying to get a reaction out of me. Well, guess what? Your money ain't shit compared to my money and what I'm making right now and what you was giving me. You can't penny bitch me. You are a nasty, disgusting person who came across some money. That's all you will ever be. You're pulling strings behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you I play that game better than you.
End of message. Delete. Press 7. Save. Press 9 or resave.
Yeah, after 4 months of straight up supporting somebody who you know has completely harassed me, and then you leaving messages, participating, and then after you finally got my attention to text you, well, you showed me everything that you need to show me. At this point, it's not even really about you supporting him. It's the fact that I was always wondering, if I just talk to her and apologize, maybe she'll stop. And that's what I was leading to, but now you're participating in the harassment overtly while getting text messages from me in real time. So I wish you the best. And you can support whoever you want to support. I no longer have a feasible way of watching and looking because the money that you used to give me ain't coming back to my platform. No matter how much I said I didn't want it, I did have it in my back of my mind maybe to allow you back over, to allow you to support me since you said you did it from the kindness of your heart. But you just showed me everything that you needed to show me, and I appreciate you. And when I wake up tomorrow, I promise you I'm going to manifest 5 or 6 different people that support me 10 times fold more than you have ever supported me because it was never genuine. I wish you the best. I will not mention you on my platform. I will not talk about him. He's on loop on a backup channel. And now that I know that you're still going to support him and his predatory energy towards me, I can't do nothing about it. It's not your business. You are in my business by supporting somebody who's harassing me. But you showed me that, and I can't do nothing about it. So for that, I wish you the best. You will not get a mention. You will not be talked about on my platform. Godspeed.
End of message. Delete. Press 7. Save.
Yeah, so, you know, you can't get past that truth right there, right? You'll never get past these different variations of truth. You can put all the lies on me that you want, but you'll never get past that truth right there. There's not a person, there's not one woman in my life that will come and say that, you know, this, that, and the third about me. They'll all tell you like, oh yeah, it might have been some ups and downs, but he's a good person. He had nothing but good. And that's the thing. Like, I don't go around boasting or bragging about accolades. So therefore, that's what you want. You want this to be some type of Mel Bravo type of bullshit. So the moment that I start talking about my life and all the accomplishments that I made and everything that I did and everything that I went through and overcame, then you're going to turn it around and be like, look at him bragging about his life. Now he want us to, you know, praise him for the life that he, that, and the third. That's all you're going to do. That's all you're going to do is keep on changing the goalposts, no matter what I prove, no matter what I show, no matter what I bring out. All you're going to do is change the goalposts, right? Because that's the name of this game, right? It ain't about, you know, truth. It ain't about truth. It ain't about telling the truth. You know that, because I done told the truth this whole time, and still you sit over there and put out falsitries. You take certain variations of lies to Sherelle, and this is what I'm saying. Like, these people have no, like, why these people ain't thinking for themselves? They hosting lives about me just so I can mention their name. So after I mention their name, they then turn around and make a falsificated story about why I mentioned their name. But they're not mentioning cause and effect. They're not mentioning the reason why any of this is happening is because they took it upon themselves to come over here, speak nasty about somebody, and then after my page got targeted because they spoke nasty about somebody over here, then they wanted to go to their page and act like they was the good. We're so good. We're so this. Oh, and his page is not monetized. Yes, it's not monetized because y'all made sure of that by coming speaking nasty over here. Y'all came over here with nasty tongues, called people big and all types of words. Used all the words that y'all knew would trigger the algorithm. And then y'all skip away and make it seem like y'all stopped somebody's production. He ain't even this and he ain't even that. My life is better than y'all's. Obviously, my life is better than y'all's. Y'all can sit on these apps and make it seem like y'all life is so good, but I ain't never see a happy person constantly tell people their life is happy. That's how I know y'all life is miserable. Y'all sitting on the app telling people all we do is call each other about content. Y'all must be, listen, you must be going through a divorce. You must be going through something. You trying to tell people about the good old days, living in the past when you was happy, used to be happy. How many houses he got? You'll never know, because I'm not out here bragging about what I do. How many cars he got? You'll never know, because I ain't out here bragging what I'm doing, right? Well, what's his bank account look like? Why you need to know that? That's irrelevant to the point. Everything that they bring up is irrelevant, right? But I guarantee you this, they won't have no intellectual debate with me, right? So this is a message I for sure want to get back to them, right? I challenge them to a political debate. I challenge them to a intellectual debate. I challenge them to a integrity debate, a moral compass debate, a righteous debate. Where's your sense of morals at? You sitting here taking the word of the not, but you ain't doing no, proper reconnaissance on your own. You supposed to be a whole grown person that's supposed to think for yourself, so on and so forth. But you sitting there just saying, what else he say? The not, what else he say? You ain't go listen to it for yourself. You let this man tell you that I was going to tie your husband up and do some things to you. Why? Why would I do that? That don't even make sense. That don't make sense at all. That don't make sense at all. That means that's what y'all are fantasizing about. That means that y'all are sitting over there in some sick ass world fantasizing about that type of stuff happening to y'all. Everybody over here know that we don't even talk about stuff like that over here. Talking about, that we joke about the Discord because that's where we do our joking at, in the Discord. And y'all done turned the Discord joke into something way bigger. Now all of a sudden he's got a covenant of women that he's doing this for and that. What? They not going to show up to no type of intellectual debate. They not going to show up for an intellectual debate. They not going to do it. You remember I asked them one simple question already. You know what I mean? I asked them one simple question. How many constellations is it in the sky? And everybody froze up. They don't have intellect. You could tell, even by, certain variations of people's argument. And he better this, he better ask about me, he better this, he better that. Those two things don't make no sense. How you going to sit there and play tough and then turn around and say, I might just go and play scared. I might just make some phone calls and just play scared. That's okay. I got something for all y'all. It's called paperwork. It's called paperwork. See, the law tells you this. The law tells you that it's three things you have to do. First, you have to contact the people involved, right? Because when you put out this lawsuit, the lawsuit is going to have to go to everybody involved. YouTube will be one of those parties that will have to get this lawsuit, right? So when you put out this lawsuit, right? First, three things is going to happen. First, they're going to tell you, one, you have to contact the entities that's involved to see if there's any reclamation in that way, right? So one, you send an email to the legal team of YouTube, right? That's the first step that you do. You send an email to the legal team of YouTube. Then after you do that, you also contact the people that involved to say, like, hey, listen, you're defaming my character, this, that, and the third. If they don't do it, your second step is a cease and desist order. Once you put out the cease and desist order, this will stop them from mentioning you, stop them from bringing you up, and then you proceed with the lawsuit. So step one is out the way. As you can see in the Discord, we have already contacted YouTube's legal team, right? Step two now is composing the order for the cease and desist, or which is a gag order, right? So now we'll send out the gag order, and then the talented Mr. Ricketts can expect the letter in the mail. Don't try to make it seem like I don't have your address. I know exactly who it is that you're staying with. I know the address of the big white guy that you're staying with, so on and so forth. Got his address. Know you live in apartment 2. If you moved out of that, don't worry about it. They have ways of finding you. Don't even worry about it. So you will be the first one that will be getting hit with this defamation of character, since you want to say that I'm going to, grate people and all of this other stuff. No, I did not let them get on my panel. I showed the back messages that showed you that Danot contacted me and said that Sherelle wanted to do a show. That's what happened. I didn't tell these people like, hey, come to my panel, I want to build it. I didn't know. This nigga contacted me and was like, yo, such and such want to do a show with you. I showed the text messages. I ain't gotta lie about this. I was good with my shows, building my shows the way I was. I didn't contact him and ask him to bring them on the show. So don't say and try to be like, come on, keep it real. You knew. No. I don't play these type of games. That's why I'm going to make sure that he knows I don't play these type of games. I'm going to make sure it. What's that say right there? Well, y'all can go to the Petty Pocket and check it out. What does that say right there? Don't that say such and such wants to do a panel with us? Don't that say that? Such and such wants to do a panel with us. That's not me texting him. That's him texting me, setting it up. That ain't no, that's him texting me. This dude putting all of these falsitries out there about me saying that. Come on, man. His truth is about to hit him so tough. His truth is about to hit him so tough. So look, in this world, you got to be self-aware, okay? You got to be cautious of these different variations of behavior. You know, propaganda, these storylines that they pushing out there, it's all part of this, right? Assassinating character, keeping the confusion going, so on and so forth.
Propaganda is directly related to classical conditioning mind control tactics that are used to psychologically and emotionally manipulate people. Therefore, it is important to be aware of these manipulation methods and ask ourselves what we know about propaganda messages. How is propaganda being used, and what can we do to shield ourselves to prevent its destructive effects in our psyche and unconscious impulses? We should be able to better discern the difference between gaining knowledge through being educated and informed in matters, versus information that is being intentionally manipulated to influence an audience to spread a specific agenda, by manipulating people's behavior without them even realizing it. Not taking what we've been told at face value by doing our own research and due diligence, combined with critical thinking and common sense, helps us to become more responsible in where we invest our time and energy. Critical thinking.
That's what you're watching right now, right? You're watching people tell other people stuff, and they're not doing this stuff due diligently themselves. They're not looking up this stuff themselves. They're not going to watch the live themselves. They're taking this person's word for it. Therefore, this is the propaganda part of it, right? Where you manipulate somebody else's actions based off of telling them what you want them to know, not what the truth is, right? They can go and find out the truth themselves, but then they would have to use their own discernment for that, right? But they would rather take what you're saying and then move according to what you're saying, right? All hearsay, right? And that's what you're watching right now. This is why critical thinking is important right now. They want to take your ability from the table to actually use your own train of thought. But I want to put it back on the table so you could think for yourself. Think for yourself. Don't let me or nobody else tell you how to perceive someone, right? The fact that these people are putting falsified information out there, that's where the defamation of character comes in, right? Anything that we said on this platform can't be defamation of character because it was not only public records, but it was looked up, right? Now, what they're doing is actually defaming people's characters, saying that I said that I was going to grape somebody, saying that I said that I'm sending pictures to people in the Discord of my genital areas, saying that I'm, ejaculating in front of a crowd or whatever it is. Those are defamation of character statements, right? And we're going to get to the bottom of those defamation of character statements, and we're going to do it the proper way. Okay. And I'll tell you the steps to do it the proper way. One, do not let the feelings and emotions get to you about these characters. These are characters that's on the internet that actually, if you look at it in a sense, this is their job, and they get paid to make up lies and falsitries on other people for currency, right? So, of course, somebody might have contacted the talented Mr. Rickett and told him, hey, we'll pay you excess amount of money in order to slander, tear down this person's character. And him being about money, he'll say, shit, I'll have no problem doing that. Thus far becoming a worker for the dark, right? So he's working for the dark right now, tearing down people's character, assassinating people's character, and he's getting paid to do it, whether it be with super chats, memberships, or whatever. And he went over there and they recruited, they literally, you might as well say they recruited Maggie to do the same thing, right? So, yeah. Yeah, he's saying that I asked women to send me pictures of them and so on and so forth. Yeah, I told somebody to show me their body or I was going to kick them out. Ain't that weird? Like, we all sit in the Discord and we all know what's going on in the Discord. We in the Discord all the time. There's not a side conversation that y'all don't know about. I tell y'all about these people that call me on the side and talk, how's your mental and all of that stuff. Do y'all not hear every conversation damn near that I'm involved in when it comes to this YouTube stuff? So that's how you know everything he's saying is a lie.
Thinking is
That's
inward
why I
directed with the
operate
intent of
in
maximizing the
openness like
reasoning
that,
ability
because
and
I already
coherence of
knew
the
that this
thinker.
was going to happen.
One does
That's why I
not
don't
use
do
critical
nothing in
thinking to
secrecy.
solve problems.
There's no
One
point.
uses critical thinking to improve one's process of thinking, such as making an appraisal based on careful analysis or evaluation, as well as considering the intuitive insights that are felt in the circumstances. Self-assessment is a critical step in improving discernment and making self-corrections when you have gone out of balance, such as when you have been triggered and feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. To be able to improve our thinking through performing self-assessment, let's break down what that actually looks like, and how you can begin to develop this skill to see things much more deeply that exist underneath the surface or be able to restore balance in a situation. For beginners, keep a journal on a weekly basis, or if you are able to hold these steps in your mind, as you run through a situation that felt significant to you.
See, right
Each
here.
week, or when something happens that feels significant
Listen
to
to
you,
this part.
run through this process to help you integrate what has happened. A general format would look like: 1. Situation. Describe a situation that is, or was, emotionally significant to you, that is, that you deeply care about. Focus on one situation at a time in observer mode. 2. Your response. Describe what you did in response to that situation. 3. Analysis. Then analyze, in the light of what you have written, what precisely was going on in the situation. Dig beneath the surface. What are the patterns? What are the lessons? What impressions do you get? No judgment, only witnessing. 4. Assessment. Assess the implications of your analysis, impressions, and feelings. What did you learn about yourself? What would you do differently if you could relive the situation?
Now, see, a lot of people don't take this type of assessment of oneself. When you're going back and you're reliving these different things in your mind, you got to take these proper assessments, right? One, you assess the situation that is being described with your emotions and everything that's involved, right? You focus on that situation in your mind. In your mind, focus on it. It's not mean dwell on it. It don't mean keep going to try to get closure for something. It's just for that moment, let it marinate in your mind and think about it. What was my response in this whole equation, right? This is where accountability comes in at. A lot of these people lack accountability. So therefore, they'll never take a proper assessment of their own timeline. So if they're not taking a proper assessment of their own timeline, what makes you think that they're going to look at your timeline and have the proper analogy or assessment for it, right? You can't look at the things I did in my past and have a proper assessment for it because you ain't been through it. And you're not even taking the things into your past and taking accountability for it. You think he taking accountability for that video he put out there? How you an actor and couldn't make it in that industry, right? You couldn't even make it in that industry. You ain't make it in the acting industry. You ain't making it in the corn and what you can't make it. You ain't making it in the YouTube content creator industry. You ain't making it. And then this is another reason why the defamation of character lawsuit Oh, this is another reason why the defamation of character lawsuit. He's sitting there talking about some this and that about TikTok. He's got TikTok. He's got this TikTok, right? He got all these different lies that he's sitting there telling y'all, right? He's sitting there just telling y'all lies. And look, everybody's gonna believe it. Not everybody, but the people that's over there, they got the right to believe whatever they want to believe, right? And here's why they got the right to believe whatever they want to believe. Because a long time ago, I was taught that everybody's not gonna like you. You know what I mean? I was taught that a long time ago that everybody's not gonna like you. And when people can't find no fault with you, they'll make up lies on you, right? They'll make up lies on you, right? And that's what he's doing. He's over there making up lies to fit his narrative. But look, excuse me, let's do this. Let's bust out some more of his lies, right? I operate and work with a business, company, corporation, LLC, right? So you literally see right here on all my accounts, there is a link tree that you can go to. This link tree shows you that we are a business, right? It shows you right here. Become a part of the growing TikTok network, right? It shows you right here, right? Social media content creator and promotional agent, right? Spreading love and truth. It shows you everything right here, right? It shows you the Discord. It shows you everything, right? Guidance for next generation. It shows you all of this right here in my link tree, right? Mind over matter, Facebook, forbidden truth, YouTube, TikTok. Everything is right here, right? Right here. Everything is right here. Cash App, GoFundMe, even the nonprofit that we have put together for the Soul Spark LLC FBO Setup Fund, right? For the land down in South Carolina so we can put together a union, right? Now, here's the thing. We got the guidance for next generation, right? I've been doing this. I've been doing this social media shit. Right? I've been doing this. The fact that you get on here and you think that you can tarnish somebody's name, tarnish somebody's, credentials, whatever you want to call it, right? It's funny to me. But let's go back and look at the TikTok. The TikTok shows a history that I've been on here doing this, right? Before I ran into you. I've been on here doing this, right? Before you came into the picture, I've been on here pointing out scammers, right? Been on here showing people back messages to show that these people ain't real, right? PSA, right? I've been really on here helping people. You ain't really been doing too much. I've been really on here helping people. Really on here looking out for people. I've been doing this. It's going back. This is years going back. This is going back years on TikTok. This ain't something I just started jumping over on YouTube. We talking about being a part of an agency on TikTok. We talking about I've been over there with subscribers, multiple pages, because I know the struggle. I know how this stuff works. You have people that's tearing down spirituality. So I know that they're tearing down intellectual, spiritual people. So I know that we got to keep on duplicating accounts, so on and so forth. I know that. I done sat down with some of the biggest people over on TikTok. But you want to sit over here and make it seem like I got all of this, da-da-da-da-da. Look how long ago. Look how long ago. This is 2023. I was speaking about Terrence Howard. 2023.
It's a key of E, and it's a color yellow. That's what proper physics gets you to. Oxygen is a chartreuse, and it's the key of F over F sharp. Now, they use it, like I said, Information used to be thought about as just electrical information passing on. But I got a question for you. Have you ever been at a party with some of your friends you ain't seen in 10 years, but y'all was like 14, you hung out, and there's a song that came?
I did the study on cats and why cats purr and how their purring actually heals them. When they're purring, it's healing them from the inside, the vibrational frequency. I did the study on bees and understand that bees vibrate their body temperature to a certain degree. And whenever somebody attack the beehive, they'll all surround that person and or not person, but they'll surround that entity that attacked the beehive and put their temperature at a certain everybody's got to have that temperature, and it'll burn up the person that actually came in or the other, anonymous bee, pest, whatever, right? I did the study on this stuff, right? Actually highly intelligent person, right? But I dabble into pointing out all this carnal stuff. I've been pointing out all this carnal stuff. Been doing the whole Terrence Howard thing. This 2023 right here. This is going back to 2023. The stuff that they talking about right now, I've been already talked about. It's old news to me. The stuff that they sitting there making it seem like it's so new to it's already been old to me. I already talked about it. I already did it. I already did my 1-2 step all over the Krishan thing.
Yeah, y'all saw how I was on live. I was by myself. I wasn't with my team. My team was outside waiting.
I already did it.
Just waiting until, I don't know, it was time to work, So that's what that happened. All this other false narrative saying this happened, she did that. I don't know what that, I don't know. I think it's just a clout chasing thing. So honestly, I have to start protecting my name when I don't know. I don't know how you step in situations like that. So it had nothing to do with Tamar. It was
Now, see, that's how y'all keep on trying to carry these bad bones, trying to make people explain their life, right? Did you not ever commit robbery, right? Don't we all got a pass? It's not the story that he's telling y'all, right? It's nowhere near the story that he's telling y'all, right? But here we are, where someone has to explain their past, right? That they already did the time for, already did, y'all looking at the dates. The dates on there go all the way back to 2011. But you still sitting here like, tell us to make it make sense. Make it make sense. And it didn't even, none of the stuff took place how he said it took place. I went to go pick up my brothers and them who was staying at my mom's apartment in New Jersey. I lived in West Virginia at the time. I went back to pick them up in New Jersey. My mom was telling us about the drug dealer that she was getting substances from that threatened her life. He threatened her life with a knife in the elevator, said that he was going to rob her. I mean, that he was going to unalive her if he didn't get the money that she owed. So I was like, I want to confront this dude. If you owe him some money, he don't got to tell you he's going to take your life. He can contact me. I'll try to find a way to get him the money. For him to say he's going to take your life, I can't have that. I can't have nobody out here threatening my mom, right? So my brother also was like, come on, we're going to confront the dude. When we knocked on the door, my brother did the whole shabam, where everything at type bid. And I'm like, oh shit, I thought we were just confronting this person, so on and so forth, right? So we left. After that, I drove back to West Virginia, where I lived at. And then all of that unfolded. And the next thing I know, I had to go back to Jersey to answer that situation, because that's what came out. Conspiracy after the fact, whatever you want to call it, because I drove or whatever. It doesn't even matter. None of that really matters. Somebody said some shit they was going to do, and it was the drug dealer. The drug dealer want and press robbery charges on somebody. Think about that. I didn't go in somebody's house. It's not midnight burglary. It didn't have no gun. It was no weapons involved. It was strong arm robbery. That means no weapons was involved. That means my brother went in there. I went in there. My brother grabbed him up, put him up against the wall, whatever the case may be. Boom, boom, boom. I'm telling him, don't threaten my mom, this, that, and the third. My brother took the rest of the drugs that he had, so on and so forth. And it was a fucking robbery charge. That's what it was. On paper, that's what it is. But in real life, we know how it is in the hood. We know how it is in the hood. It ain't nothing saying that I ran in somebody's house and midnight burglary. No dumb shit like that. I literally and see, that's the thing. Like I gotta get somebody else on here. I can get my sons. My sons is old enough to come out and speak about this. They was young at the time that it happened. And both my sons will gladly come out and tell you, like, yeah, my dad went and picked up his brothers from New Jersey. When they came back, my dad ended up getting locked up. None of that shit makes sense. None of it makes sense. That somebody can look up your life, give a false narrative on it, all because their truth is coming out. He wants to put a false notion on my life because his truth is too much for him. But guess what? I've been told my story. I told my story 1,000 times over. Everybody on TikTok know my story. I speak about my story all the time, from the group homes to the foster cares to the, but he didn't say nothing about the drug charge. I also got a drug charge on my background from West Virginia. How did he just end up with, this is how I know he didn't do the work himself, right? This is how I know he didn't do the work himself, because he didn't speak on the drug charge that I had, right, in West Virginia. So therefore, if he went and just got that Jersey information, that means somebody else crafted that for him. Somebody else looked at that stuff up for him, right? Because he didn't speak on the drug charge that I had in West Virginia. I had to clean up both of those at the same time. I had a drug charge in West Virginia for possession with intent, and I also had to go clean up that Jersey charge. That's how I found out that I had the Jersey charge, because I was locked up in West Virginia at the time that the Jersey charge popped up. I was coming up for parole in West Virginia, and I was like, can y'all check and see if I got any charges anywhere else? And that Jersey charge popped up, in which case I had to be expedited to New Jersey. And then when I got to New Jersey, I'm finding out, like, oh shit, damn, that's crazy. And then I got, me being the person that I am, I told Jersey, I said, listen, if y'all run it with my West Virginia time, I'll give y'all a conviction. If not, I'm taking it to trial. They couldn't risk taking it to trial because they only had 100 and something days. They only had, with the agreement that they had with West Virginia, they only had 100 and something days. They couldn't take it to trial. When the lawyer came back and told me that the investigator said that the person couldn't identify the people that was involved, he gave a rough image of who was involved, right? He gave a rough image of who was involved, right? So I said, shit, I'm ready to take it to trial. The lawyer said, if you take this to trial, that means you have to put your mother and your brother on the stands, because that would be the two witnesses that would be against you, would be your mother and your brother. So I was like, well, we're not doing that, because I don't want to, put my mom on the stand against me. That's going to look bad, me sitting here saying that my mom's credentials are not good because she's a drug addict, so on and so forth. So I said, look, tell the prosecutor, this was my counter offer. I said, tell the prosecutor, if they run it with my West Virginia time, count me for the time that I already been down, right? Run it with my West Virginia time. I give them the conviction that they wanted. They ran it with my West Virginia time, counted all the time that I was down already in West Virginia, and that was that. No harm, no foul. I didn't have to, have my mom. I didn't have to, question my mom on the stands, question my brother on the stands, none of that. So the story that he's telling you, man, listen, Let him tell it. You know what I mean? Let him tell it. If the people want to believe that, that means they already wanted to believe it. If I lose people from belief, that means they already wanted to believe that. If people start fucking with me, rocking with me, that means they already was looking for a reason not to rock with me. So those, I don't need those type of people in my life. They already was looking for those reasons not to rock with me. You know? I'm not hurt by my past. Oh, you in West Virginia? Okay. Okay. I got kids in Fairmont. West Virginia. And as far as putting out information about me or knowing my address, like it's fine that you know my address. Everybody knew my address. Remember, I've been doing this on TikTok for a minute. So I literally been like going places and on TikTok putting together a spiritual community. So him sitting there talking about, he's a grifter. Man, listen, save that story for somebody else. That's because he knows that's what he's doing, living off of that YT, man, pounding them in the yum, yum, yums, But it's okay, though, because that's his story. He's got to tell it. I actually been on here helping people and looking to help people and so on and so forth. So whatever story he's got to tell, that's the story he's got to tell. I can't, if you look back before all of this Jaguar Wright stuff, on TikTok, I was on here, talking about elevation of the mind and, how one can achieve certain variations of knowledge through,
of course,
different variations of elevations of the mind and how to elevate the mind and so on and so forth. Right. Him sitting here saying he know where I live. Grateful. Okay. A lot of people knew where I lived. I was showing it. I was showing pictures of where I live. I literally have posts where I tell people to come out to Hartsville, South Carolina. Like, bro, you not playing no scary type of character. Like, you're not scary. Like, you can sit here and say, and I'm gonna give people his address, and I'm gonna do this. You could do all of that. You're welcome to do all of that. It probably ain't gonna end well, but you welcome to do it, right? Because the reality of it is you're not gonna pump no fear over here. I've been on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? I was over on TikTok with some of the bigger creators over there, arguing, going back and forth with them about the scamming and stuff that was going on. I've been doing this. So all of those falsitries that you doing, all of those, and if you got anything on your TikTok that got me on there, you better take it out. Shut up. Okay? Please stop. I've been pointing out scammers on TikTok. Been pointing out people scamming, right? If you go back and look, I've been pointing out people scamming. I can go to my TikTok messages and show you multiple people who sent me messages saying like, yo, you was right about this person. You was right about that person. Multiple messages where people like, yo, you was right. You was right. It happened just like you said. This person this person that. Right? So like, he sits here and he makes it seem, I just don't do it. I don't try to boast about these accolades. They gonna be what they gonna be. I don't try to use people that I did stuff for. I done sent money to people, sent money to strangers, never brought it up. Right? Sent money to strangers, never brought it up. Right? literally like was trying to help people grow their accounts and everything like that, telling people like, yo, I can help you grow your account, so on and so forth. Now, of course, with all of this stuff also comes, adversity. So anytime you trying to grow in the level of positivity of this magnitude, you're going to have those people that's going to come against it, right? That's why you got to be strong in the mind. You got to be strong in the mind. The mind is the greatest battlefield. So you're going to have strong mind in order to get through these waves. These people can't stop nothing. They can't do anything. They sitting there trying to play on people's feelings and emotions and energies, but it ain't happening. They still losing. They just really finding different ways to lose. That's what it is. They're finding different ways to lose, and they're getting upset because you're not bothered by it. They want to sit there and try to tamper with your feelings. They want to do something that's going to bother you. They want to do something. So, look, everybody make sure they get over to the Atlas store. Make sure you get yourself something from the Atlas store. All right. Make sure you get yourself something from the Atlas store. I'm pretty sure it's in the link tree. If you was to click on the link tree, I'm pretty sure it's in the link tree. And get over there and get you something from the Atlas store. I'm gonna drop the link. We're not done talking yet. So the wave is waving. They're upset because the wave is waving. Let them be upset because the wave is waving, right? And we got to push past the negativity and stuff that's going on. It's a lot of it. So, we're gonna, like, we gotta reamp the Discord, besides the people that we and then I don't know, maybe the I don't know, because I see now I got kicked out of somebody's what you call 'em, so I don't know. Whatever. Maybe they believe in the lies. That's cool too. I'm fine with that. But yeah, whatever's whatever. The people who are going to fall by the wayside, they're gonna fall by the wayside. You can't do nothing about that. Um, despite everything that I have shown people on here, showing people love, kindness, generosity, when other people turn their backs on people, despite everything that y'all have seen, people are still going to try to perceive things the way that they want to perceive things, and they're fine to do it. It's fine that they do it. I'm not disturbed by it. Sometimes it gets old. Sometimes it gets old when you're constantly building other people up, and people are constantly tearing you down while you're building other people up. It kind of get frustrating. It kind of, but at the same time, I know what it's all about. I know what I'm in it for. So I'm gonna just keep on pushing forward the way that I'm pushing forward. I'm not going to allow different variations of this energy to bother me, to disturb me. We got a lot of energy coming into this plane, coming this April. And I don't want to miss out on all of that positive energy that's coming in. So I am not going to be disturbed by these personas that's putting people in lower vibrational frequencies. I am going to, continue to laugh, continue to, play the game, enjoy my mental space, so on and so forth. Once again, we do got the Discord. The Discord is jumping like always. The Discord is jumping like always. And it is what it is. Like, there's nothing you can do about how people perceive things to be. If people was looking for a reason to separate, step away, whatever, then that's cool. I applaud them to do it. In fact, the faster they do, the faster I can build with the people that actually want to build something better. And everybody got the right to, you know, follow who they want to follow, get behind who you want to get behind. And that's it. Like it's not about like nothing else. Like there's a lot of games that's being played right now. Some people choose to see it, some people choose to act like they don't see it. There's a big fight going on spiritually. So there's a lot of you know, character assassination going on right now. You heard Terrence Howard speak of it. Um, he said that if you're going to do it to his face, so on and so forth. So you know what's going on. You know what's going on if they're speaking of it on that higher of a level, to where as though they're also saying like the same thing. He's saying the same thing because it's, you know, tarnishing intellectual beings. So when you see this heavy fight against anyone who's basically trying to have a certain level of intellect, a certain level of knowledge, right? When you see this constant fight against this, it becomes that much more clear about the unity of oneness. You know what I mean? So this is the unity of oneness. We are watching what takes place with the, you know, oneness and how it works. So once you get into like dark matter and stuff like that, then you'll get into like the Terrence Howard level, you know, understanding of it. Once you get into like chakra systems and stuff like that, then that's a whole nother level of understanding, so on and so forth. So each stage has a different level of understanding when it comes to this knowledge. And you're going to run into different levels of people too. So if you're running into different levels of variations of knowledge and understanding, then that also comes with the people too, running into that. So the people will also have different variations of attacks towards you. When you're seeking this level of knowledge and wisdom, this is what can take place also. And people have this variation of, you know, notion of anger towards you, different variations of disrespect, whatever the case may be. So this is just another one of those things that you go through. And this is, I guess, in a sense, this is part of the growth process, right? They put you through this stuff and see if you make it through it. See if you can, you know, weather the storm or whatever the case may be. But here's the thing. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. I want y'all to pay attention because a lot of stuff is about to take place, right? A lot of stuff is about to take place around these YouTube streets, right? You're about to watch some doors get closed for certain people, and you're going to watch some doors open up for certain people, right? So, because he wants to label himself a gatekeeper, a gate is what he is kept in. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he wants to label himself a gatekeeper, a gate is what he will be kept in, right? The mind is a terrible thing to waste, right? Now, there's a shift taking place, and if you witness the shift, you'll pay attention to what's actually happening. So, what's actually happening is challenges are being made. Yes, we are in Babylon, mystery Babylon, where before one fought with physical brute, right? Now the battlefield is fought with intellects through this battlefield of social media, these platforms and stuff, right? So because he has accepted the challenge or whatever he wants to call himself doing, he now's falling short to a higher intellectual persona, right? So now he falls short to a higher intellectual persona that shows a certain level of discernment that he do not have, and it's frustrating him. It's frustrating him to the point where he can't figure out a way to one up. He can't figure out a way to win. So he creates the lies. You know what I mean? He creates the lies. And listen, we're not. And here's the thing about this. The beautiful thing about this is they think monetization is the key. Monetization has never been the key. Have y'all ever heard me say I'm doing this to get monetized? Have y'all ever heard me say I'm doing this to get monetized? I want monetized. You ain't seen me pushing for monetization like that. When the chance came up to get monetized, I said, okay, we got a chance to get monetized. Let's try to monetize, right? So the real reality is they're focused on something that I'm not focused on, right? They're focused on it. It's the same thing he did when he called me on the phone and he was like, yo, we should do this and do the da 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 da. Like, man, that dude is over there struggling for money. Do you hear me? Struggling for money, right? He not trying to go back to just that SSI check. Because I know he's mentally unstable. I know. But the mind is a terrible thing to waste. You hear me? The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And that's why this is a fight of consciousness. This is about the consciousness of mankind. Do you hear me? This is about our consciousness. Developing a consciousness, how do you go about it? Right? This is, this is how a man grows in the mind and the spirit. You have to discipline your mind. One has to have a disciplined mind.
When we say ascension and we're moving forward in terms of our developing consciousness, in actuality what we are doing is connecting to our spiritual energetic intelligence and then integrating that intelligence by descending our divinity into our physical bodies. So actually the ascension is a descension of our spiritual energetic bodies, which is almost in reverse of what we actually think it means. We are ascending in our consciousness, but we actually are descending that intelligent energy, what could be described as our divinity, into the physical vehicle. So, our actual goal in ascension stages is to, with our intention and consent, to participate and connect with higher, more refined vibrating aspects of ourselves. So, when we think of our soul, our monad oversoul, and these aspects of spiritual energetic identity, this is where the understanding of the cosmology of dimensions and dimensional frequency spectrum are brought into conscious awareness. When we understand the color wave spectrum of each dimension and use our chakras as a foundational model, that helps us to understand what the 7 primary chakras function actually are. We can start with those 7 dimensions, of which there is a plane of reality that we as a soul intelligence exist upon or have an aspect of our God self. We actually have an intelligence and an aspect of ourself in simultaneous time that is existing on that particular plane of reality. So the ascension is literally a descension or collecting of those spiritual energetic fragments, or other identities of ourselves, as we merge them into this moment of self that we're sharing now. We are actually merging with those multidimensional consciousness identities into this local identity, in this moment of self and time. As we move up the consciousness scale, we access higher and more refined levels of our creation.
Now, if you know, like, moving up the conscious scale, it has something to do with frequencies, self-consciousness, right? So when you're moving up the conscious scale, you become aware of something more within inside yourself. You start to carry yourself with a little bit more dignity. This is where people try to say, like, I guess the people around you would probably say that you're acting bougie or something like that. You probably don't want to indulge in certain things that used to be okay to indulge in, right? Different variations of gossip and stuff like that. You just don't want a part of it no more. And this is what happens when you don't want to be a part of it no more, right? You say, I don't want to be a part of the dozens. I don't want to be a part of that back and forth fight that people keep on going with, right? There's no solution there. There's no end resolve there. Beef with you, piece it up. Beef with you again, piece it up, right? I find a problem with you, then you find a problem with me, then I find a problem with you, and then you. I'm tired of that. And that came in with that love and hip hop shit. As soon as that love and hip hop came in, and I seen that they was fighting, and then they was all at the reunion, piecing it up, I said, man, this shit is about to become like, and that's what happens. Now this is like, they got the right to hate, but we don't got the right to love. They sitting over there and I got the right to dislike you forever for that. I'm never gonna like you for that, AT2. I'm always gonna hate you for that, AT2. That means you looking for reasons to hate. You not out here looking for reasons to love. That means you out here looking for reasons to hate. That shit is sick. That shit is sick. It's wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Shock you. Wash, rinse, repeat again. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Give somebody else that energy. That's why I say, like, I never had friends in my physical life. Like, you know how people be in your physical life and they be like, man, I fall out with my friends all the time. I always get into it with my friends. And in my mind, I be thinking, y'all ain't really friends then. Because if you really friends with somebody, you're going to be able to bite your tongue so you won't have to have you're going to be able to, there's no way I'm getting into a physical altercation with my friend. Hell no. You know how much is harbored with physical altercation? You beat somebody up. We still friends? No. I know you still feel a certain type of way about that ass whooping because that's pride. We all got that. You know what I mean? So it's no way I'm coming to a physical altercation with a friend. There's no way. Like even people that I'm with in my real life, like in my real life, I tell them like, yo, if it comes to a point where we gotta physically harm each other, I don't want to be with you. I want to be afar. I'm gonna love you from a distance. If we come to a point where it's like we got a fist fight, listen, I love you from a distance. I know at some point you got to realize when shit toxic, and that if you want to get away from toxicity, you got to realize okay, you're toxic. I got to get away from you. And y'all watch this person be nothing but toxic. And he's secretly tearing down other panels too. Why? What do you think's going to happen to Sherelle and them? What do you think's going to happen to that panel? Huh? Oh, Laverne and Shirley. What do you think is going to happen to Laverne and Shirley? Eventually, Laverne and Shirley going to crash out. That level of toxicity, it follows you. It follows you. You know, it becomes you. They got to keep repeating that. This is their shock value in between time. They don't have nothing to talk about. They can't really just make content. So they got to do this. This is what they got to do. They know what they doing. Oh, I don't talk about lower content creators. I don't have nothing to gain by talking about them. So I'm not going to talk about lower content. Ain't that a Laverne and Shirley thing to say? I'm not going to speak on lower content creators because there's no point. I know how to sit calm. Nah. I know what a full house is. I watch the world turn. I be guiding these lights. Anybody can run their mouth and talk all of that extra stuff, man. The reality of it is y'all ain't doing what y'all think y'all doing, and the numbers ain't spiking the way y'all thought they'd be spiking. And now you got to take it step by step, day by day. Same old stuff, just a different way. That's it. Y'all trying the same stuff, just a different way of trying it. You want to sit there and try to shatter somebody else's dreams. And that thought that you had about putting together a house, nobody wants to live with you. Nobody. That's why you're tearing down my character, because you see the union that I got and what I'm putting together. That shit sounds monumental. You wish you could pose the thought like that. You wish you put together something like that. Instead, you sitting there trying to lie about your accolades. I got this many followers and that many subscribers. How many of them is real, though? How many of them is real? That's the thing about this whole thing. These people do this falsified shit. And it really, there's no reason why they should be speaking on me anymore. It's because didn't they take the page down? They took the page down that they wanted to take down, right? They took it down. They know I still got the copies of it and I can still go back and show it. And I'm going to show it. I'm going to break down clips from it and show how nasty they was when they was on my panel. I'm going to break down clips and show. Y'all want to sit there and try to make it seem like y'all help somebody out. You can't help somebody out by coming and airing out your dirty laundry on their page and making it seem like you did them a favor. You can't help somebody out by coming on their page, spitting all that negative, venomous shit, and then making it seem like you helped them out. You can't come on somebody's page, say everything you know that goes against the algorithm, and then make it seem like you help somebody out. And furthermore, you can't speak about somebody monetization when you yourself, he's not even monetized. Who cares about being monetized? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got to do with the price of tea in China. You didn't control your tongue when you was over here. You didn't control your mouth when you was over here. And I damn sure didn't ask y'all to come back the next day. And I gotta look into this guy. I gotta look into this guy. You sound like a gremlin. Sound like a smooth gremlin. Like Master done gave you a bone. I gotta look into this guy. I gotta look into this guy. I gotta find out more about this guy. Look into me. Look into me. Y'all making up these lies as y'all go along, swear y'all doing something. You little minion gremlin. I might want to go to YouTube and say I'm scared. I might want to go and say I'm scared. So you playing tough with your tongue, and then when it comes down to it, you sitting there and playing some little old person. I told you they hit that life alert button. I told you ever since they gave them that life alert button, they've been using it and making it seem like they going in grocery stores trying to get their way to the front of the line, talking about something. Don't make me push this life alert button. You better let me get my few items in the front of the line. I'll push this life alert button. That's what they over there doing. Little minion gremlins. Yo, old minion gremlin. Sitting over there. I gotta get his background and criminal record, and I gotta really look into this guy. You gonna make yourself look foolish. You gonna make yourself look real foolish trying to look into somebody that's not monetized. It's not like I'm a celebrity or something, right? But she gonna look into me, right? She gonna look into. I gotta look into. Oh, gremlin ass attitude. Oh, muncher. Oh, muncher. Munching ass. So munching ass out of here. Try to insult somebody's intelligence and you can't even think past go. I said one little phrase to your ass and you was like, I don't know what that means. Yeah, because you a gremlin. People got to bring you the information. You probably can't even read. You better ask about me. You better ask. Master, ask. Tell him to ask about Eeyore. Eeyore doesn't play. I eat flies. Eeyore eats flies. Yes, I'm gonna look into him. Oh, master. Shut up.
Mind matrix. The process of ascension is liberating our incarnation from the lower form worlds of manifestation, which is what this particular time/space of Earth reality is considered. It is considered a lower form world, and again with no value or judgment, but in terms of understanding that there are lower form worlds, mid-creational realms, and higher creational realms. Here, we are existing within the harmonic universal structure of the Earth that is the densest possible reality and is being controlled. This is as dense as one can experience in a spiritual energetic form. So, ascension is not just another spiritual concept. The term of ascension is used hand in hand with developing consciousness, understanding consciousness as intelligent energy, participation with our soul evolution, the many tiers of the awakening process, becoming soul-infused, benevolent and compassionate personalities on Earth. Ascension is also a literal, tangible scientific process of the evolution of consciousness and biology within specific laws and energy mechanics that apply to a multidimensional reality system. 1.
You see that right there?
Disciplined mind.
A multi-dimensional reality system. It applies to a multi-dimensional reality system. This multi-dimensional reality system happened to consist of a certain variations of things that comes with a higher variation of knowledge that allows you to obsess and have proper discernment when it comes to certain things, especially things of this nature, such as the activities or levels that's going on YouTube. These entities don't stand a chance. Do you hear me? They don't stand a chance. They not going to stand in their truth, right? They know they not going to stand in their truth. He mad at me because Wolf Coochie and them put something out there about Perry and them. I didn't put that out there about, Petty and them. Petty and them was doing what Petty and them was doing before Ralph DaWise came along. And I don't even speak about myself in the third person like that. But Petty and them been doing what Petty and them was doing before I came along, right? They was sitting there in spandex, all spandex, acting like they was Richard Simmons. I wasn't in spandex. I wasn't sitting there all, latexed up. I wasn't doing that. Petty and them was doing that. You ain't see me latexed up? Huh? Did you see me? You didn't see me doing that. Petty and them was doing that. I wasn't doing that. What's good with you, AT2? So when it comes to it, that's something that they into, right? I'm not in no video talking about push it out for me. Like, I ain't never, that don't even sound like a phrase that you should use in a video like that. Push it out for me. What? I will stop. Like, I will stop in the middle of listen, if I was the one getting sexy, that hold on, what you talking? Don't say no shit like that. You ain't say trying to reinvigorate, bust it open or something. Push it out for me. He should have told him to bust it open. Bust it open one time. Bust it open wide one time. Push it out. Shut up. So nasty ass out here. You can't tell nobody to drop it like it's hot. Nothing of that magnitude. You in this video with this big thing, this big old thing. You in the video with this big thing, big old thing. Talking about push it out for me. No, suck it in for me. Suck it in for me. Suck it in for me.
Meditation practice is helpful in training an undisciplined and cluttered mind to develop higher consciousness. Meditation can be applied in many different techniques, and is helpful for facilitating forgiveness and letting go of negativity in many forms. In the early stages of developing meditation skill, sit and relax and learn to observe thoughts passing through without having attachment to them. Once you notice the thought pattern, let it go and bring your focus back to the now moment. 2. Inquire on beliefs. Motivation influences perception, perception influences beliefs, beliefs influence actions. Motivations, perceptions, beliefs, actions. The three major motivation problems to overcome in the Buddhist tradition are greed, anger, and delusion. If these constitute much of your motivation, then your perceptions, beliefs, and actions can be twisted. This is a good model to help with understanding ourselves better as well as the motivation of others around us. Higher consciousness opens HSP. One may not experience true states of love or emotional spectrums until they begin to connect with their soul matrix bodies and develop their higher consciousness intelligence. The soul and monadic connection is what enables the development of higher sensory perception. One cannot develop the higher sensory body, its receivers and transmitters, which allow for the development of telepathy and cellular cognition, without having an open heart and the ability to feel deeply. This all is a result of developing consciousness and is synonymous with the context of ascension study.
Do you see that?
Monadic consciousness.
You can't reach these different parts. You can't reach a monadic consciousness unless you have this ability to feel deeply. And that's deeper than the feelings and emotions. That's like when you have a collective, right? When you have a collective thought and it's a collective, then it's a deeper feeling. You know, this is why, you know, certain kings and queens, they did what was good for the kingdom, right? For the kingdom of heaven. This is when you have the ability to think deeper, think past yourself, think past your family, think outside your house, think bigger than your neighborhood, think bigger than. This is why the name Atlas is there, right? This is why everybody on TikTok knows me by Atlas, right? Because Atlas means the world. Atlas was the titan that was punished to hold up the constellations. Atlas means everybody. Nobody's excluded outside of Atlas, right? This is where that name comes in. But however you look at this, the universe is going to show us something so beautiful when it's all said and done. See, they want to tear down somebody's ability to love, right? They want to tear it down. That's what they want to do. They want to tear down people's ability to love. They want me to stop. They want me to stop helping people, stop having compassion, don't have a kind heart, don't be, don't open up your platform, don't unify, right? True compassion is the ability to bring unity. That's what true compassion is.
True compassionate love naturally brings unity. The true love relationship is a relationship with our own inner being as practiced in the law of one. When we embody love, we experience God. It is necessary to be in love and peace with oneself so that one can be able to love others without fear. The feeling of one's own esteem, dignity, and self-respect opens the possibility to feeling selfless love towards others. This is the process we are learning and living through at the end of the ascension cycle in order to become authentically human again, too.
Now, I'm glad you said in school our atlas was a book of maps. I'm glad you said that, because in this new school, I am giving you a book of maps. The book is your body, and the map is the guide through it, right? The different parts of your nervous systems that make up different parts of the constellations that connect to your sky or your heaven or your brain. The atlas bone is also a bone that is in your neck that holds up your dome. If you look it up, it says there's an atlas bone in your neck. That's the bone that holds up your dome. Also, Atlas being one of the titans that was punished to hold up the world or hold up the constellations is a representation of that bone. So in order to get to the heavens, you have to get through the atlas. Once again, I am giving you map of the body. One of the greatest books that the universe written is written on the souls of mankind. We are the book that the universe write on. We write on books to mimic the universe, but the universe writes on us. We are those books. So I'm giving you the greatest book, and I'm giving you the biggest map of all times, the map of oneself. as above, so below, as without, so within. It's about time that we understand what is within, right? We have to understand what is within. Genetics. References
Genetic damage.
Genetics is changing.
From the genetic level of their form body's template, lack of empathy and lack of compassion is stemming from not having an emotional body, of which the higher feeling and emotional sensory bodies are the primary functions of the soul matrix. Without a soul body, this type of disconnected being, whether human or non-human, has no feeling body except for the lower functioning of the instinctual mind. The second chakra functions as the instinctual mind, and this becomes the substitute for the instinctual levels that are expressed in some type of perceived emotional state. In truth, this instinctual mind, aka pain body, is not an emotional body. It has been mutated from soul damage and become a distorted center of aberrant miasma energies and instincts that are misunderstood as emotions. These states are not true self-generated emotions, they are instinctual states absorbed through the collective consciousness. One may not experience true states of love, compassion, or emotional spectrums until they begin to connect with their soul matrix bodies, or have been able to experience a loving and open heart center, fourth chakra, from being incarnated with this soul spirit connection. References.
See, a lot of people don't want to connect to these different, a lot of people don't want to connect to these different variations of oneself. They don't want the unity of a consciousness. When people study wolves, you find out that and wolves are always connected in each other's minds. The wolf pack, when you're a part of a wolf pack, you're always connected, consciously you're connected. They talking to each other through thoughts and what each other is thinking. You can't hide nothing from the pack, right? And see, the operation of this is the same way with our consciousness. When you're part of a conscious, that conscious is part of a collective. When you realize that your conscious is part of that collective, you have the option on whether you want to hide from that collective or whether you want to stand out in the light of that collective. I choose in this time of 2025 to be in the collective, stand out in the collective. I realize that there's no collective like this collective. These people don't want to sit down in peace. They don't want to sit down in unity. They don't want to sit down in love. They want to keep on dividing, finding different reasons to divide, right? They say it out their own mouths and you're not paying attention. They tell you division for life. They doing it differently. They ain't sitting there temptations forever. They sitting there telling you division for life. They tell you out their own mouth every time when you watch them. Next time you watch them, watch how many times they say, I got the right to hate you. I got the right to dislike you. I got the right to do this to you. How many times have you ever heard them say, I got the right to love you? Huh? How many times have you ever heard them say that they got the right to love? You never heard them say it. You won't hear them say it. You know why? Because it ain't in them. Nope. It ain't in them. So in the meantime, in between time, y'all know what we do, right? Right? We're going to keep on doing what we do. I'm going to drop the link to the store and I'm going to drop the link to the Discord in the comment section as we close out. Love is love. Namaste. Ashe. Salutation. Shalom. Peace. We're going to come back. That's when we'll do the carnal stuff. Right now, we had to get the little bit of learning and get some stuff out the way to clarify some stuff. But when we come back, we're going to do the carnal stuff. We might even do a whole roast session. I'm not sure yet, depending on how. It's going to be story time, though. So when you see it say story time, you know what we doing. When it say story time, you know what goes on, okay? You know what goes on when it say story time. All right, so when we come back with the story time, lock in with us.
We gotta be ready for him. Emergency. I just got out of surgery.
And let me just tell y'all that I love y'all. If nobody else told y'all today, let me be the first, but not the last to say, I love y'all. All right.
I'm having problems with my
Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality.
heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me. I'ma stay right here before this toxic car take breath from me. I'm sipping this hand and eat this pain, but it ain't helping me. My little nigga going against the grain and that shit stressing me. I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the game, paid the price. I was young in the rush for the money, my hunger for paper it saved my life. And that shit can save tonight. If you wanna live shit, we can get rich quick, we can get paid tonight. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get
y'all
it,
hit the
you
link
gon'
right
go
there. Check out the shop. Check out the Atlas Family Shop. Hit the link.
Murder by you killed a nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, real talk.
And if you want to join the Discord,
fight my demons, fight my demons.
There go the link to the Discord right there.
Me against these
hey, love don't stop. Love don't stop. All right.
Fight my demons, fight my demons. Fighting my. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons. Whoa, I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons, I'm on the ropes. They came with a beam up under my coat. Get hit in the spleen if you want to smoke. That money be green, so niggas on go. I'm looking so clean, I used to be broke. Remember they laughed at me and they choked. Gave him the ball, and nigga they choked. Tables turn, that nigga you broke. My little nigga don't follow no code. Follow no code, no code. My nigga follow me like the pole. I stand on my word and stand by the consequence. They say I'm heartless, thanks for the compliment. I seen your dead homie, yelling company. VMG gang, and bitch feel incompetent. Don't wanna hear that shit, I gotta kill that shit. Lethally militant, I can get ignorant. We not considerate. Niggas do silly shit, we get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent. Don't give a fuck about a bystander. I can pull up in the Highland. Don't take no slander. Don't take no slander. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gon' go down? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by you killed a nigga, you don't know if you gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over, real talk. Fight my demons.
I'm gonna go get some backdrops made. I'm gonna go do a couple of things, and we're gonna come back. Talk our shit. Do y'all honestly think that we about to let these people stop us from talking our shit? They trying to distract us. We gotta finish paying attention to what we was paying attention to. We pointing them out. If you see them, point them out. Right? If you see them, point them out. One's in the chat if you know. If you seeing through the lies, put a 1 in the chat. Show them that you seeing through the lies. Show them that you seeing through the lies. There's 90-something people in here. Put a 1 in the chat if you seeing through the lies. You seeing through the lies? Put a 1 in the chat. I'm seeing through the lies. I'm seeing through it. I know it's bigger than meets the eyes. I know it is. I see different people trying to play different shadow hands behind people's back, trying to grease you up, telling them that they can help you out. They might even send you $100 or a little bit of money to try to show you that they in your favor and stuff like that. Right? This was happening back in December. I was like, what the hell is this about? And I ain't know none of the people that I know right now back in December. That's how I know it's something bigger. Because I see those same people that was once and giving me cash, they still circling around these few people. I see the names ain't going nowhere. I see them. And I'm wondering, I'm starting to think, is this a social experiment? I want you to think about that. Is this one big experiment? Are we a part of it?